welcome everybody to Ladies of the PGS. I am your host, Armin. Of course, we have with us today Reina Creole. Reina, how are you?
I am doing great. I'm doing wonderful. And as always, so happy to be here on the Burnettwork with you and with all of you out there.
Well, Reina, of course, I'm so happy that you are here. And what an incredible box office week this has been, Lorena. I know, and you know, I mean, growing up, there used to be box office weeks like this quite frequently, and there would be,
Hmm.
sort of these surprise weekends, and it would be this movie's the one that, got all the receipts and things like that. But I would have never guessed in a million years that, let's say for practical purpose, Barbenheimer would be such a successful campaign. And for a while, I really was not happy, as I've told you before, of even saying the two movies in the same sentence.
Hmm.
Still a little conflicted by it because Oppenheimer is about this thing that's so, important. Not that there's anything wrong with Barbie. I'm just saying, it's two such different subject matters. But it seems to have worked. Lorena, would you have in a million years ever paired these two together in a campaign for any reason?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. The two movies couldn't be more diametrically opposed to each other, and the whole thing with them coming out on the same day. It's like, how do you reconcile those two? And honestly, I have to give credit to Tom Cruise for kicking this off in the first place, because I think at first he was trying to get theaters to somehow either put it's something to do with the allocation of screens, and then that talk went away, and then he starts talking about, yeah, let's support both of them. We need to support cinema. I got tickets. So you saw him with his pictures where he had his ticket stub to see Barbie and he had his ticket stub to see Oppenheimer. And then it kind of rolled downstream from there. And then on social media, you had the hashtag Barbenheimer thing going on. And it just kind of all went, from there. You had this amazing PR marketing campaign that was done from Barbie, and of course Christopher Nolan. You really do not need a whole lot of PR for Christopher Nolan. You just stamp it, there he is. But I think for me as an observer, that's how it seemed to happen, and it made people excited to go, to go to the movies. So you could just feel that excitement. I felt that excitement when I was in the theater to see Barbie, and also the same excitement when I was in the theater to see Oppenheimer.
Yeah, and I couldn't have put it any more perfect because you're right. It was Tom Cruise who really has been in the spotlight these past few years, with Maverick performing so well last year and
Mhm.
coming out with, of course, the new Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning this year, and his incredible promotional things with what he did. He didn't stop working during the pandemic. He made sure that they were following the rules during the lockdown. And, he knew that he had to get Top Gun Maverick, as I've said before, at Cannes as a premiere. It was a premiere, I think, last year, and a huge win for him. I think he flew in on a jet or something cool like that when he got there. And the promotion it was just like, a train that just kept going. And yeah,
Mhm.
I have to say, Lorena, I was surprised when he started talking about seeing both of them and how excited he was. And I thought to myself, wow, he's got a film coming out and yet he's promoting two other films, which is not bad. It obviously, any article connecting yourself with this is fine. Like, it's good. It's promotion for the machine, for movie makers. But I admit I was surprised to see how supportive he was about it. He was excited about it. And here, here's an article from Vanity Fair. Tom Cruise is seeing both Barbie and Oppenheimer. I thought it was maybe even a joke, but it was not. He went and head on in this with the same enthusiasm he does with everything when it comes to entertainment, when it comes to giving people and customers what they want in a movie.
Mhm.
I think that his approach is, if they do well, if my movie does well, it's good for Hollywood. It's good for everybody. It's a win-win-win situation for him. And I think that also shows that he just has a very different attitude and character when it comes to what movies mean. He doesn't want to see the medium die. He wants to see it progress and continue. And so here's this, of course, a Vanity Fair article where they're talking about it, and the portmanteau of the two words together, making, Barbenheimer, and also the idea of the summer season sharing photos of himself holding movie tickets for the screen. I think he's there. If I can just click on that, I don't like to just go cold on. Yeah, screw it. I'll just go cold on. Congratulations. It says I love a double feature, and it doesn't get more explosive or more pink than one with Oppenheimer and Barbie. And damn, Tom Cruise looks good here. Look at him.
Yeah, he does. Okay.
His casual, pants with a V-neck sweater there. Certainly, that's a lot of fun. He purposefully took pictures in front of the Oppenheimer promotional posters and the Barbie promotional posters. I got to give him credit for taking the ones in front of, like most guys probably wouldn't take a picture in front of a Barbie poster. He did it, right? I don't know which one am I sharing. Am I sharing the wrong one, or am I on Twitter?
You're the Vanity Fair page.
Okay, so let me just go back to I'm just going to share the other one because it's doesn't have all that crazy other stuff. I'll share this one. And I just think it's so important. It's so important for, we talk about this unfortunate strike that's going on that's sweeping across the world. Mm-hmm. It really has taken the world, and halted so many projects. So many people's livelihoods are at stake right now. This is a very, tumultuous time for a lot of people. And so it really is hard. This was a very unusual premiere for both of these shows, where you had actors who were, encouraged, or let's say advised. I'm going to say advised, okay, to either not appear at certain things because they have to do that under contractual obligations. We understand the contractual obligations. We're certainly not debating that. We know they exist. But, it must have been, I just think it was just so important for him to get out there and, put on a face. They always say, how do you respond to things when the situation is, feels quite not itself? Look at him. He is smiling from ear to ear, setting an example. I think that's so important. Look at this. He's just saying we've got to show support. And I think that it also shows a deeper commitment to everyone involved in it, not just the other actors, but all the people who came together to make these movies, Reina, because we know it's a whole huge team of people. And for many of them, it may not feel like this is going to end, or that people, are supporting them. But, he's there, he's buying the ticket, and he's saying, look, I support you guys. I have to make sure I'm here, to support this. It's in the theaters. And it is very interesting when you have somebody like Tom Cruise, who is really important to it. And he also believes in marketing films. So he's one of those actors where if he stars in a film, he's going to be marketing the film himself.
Right.
And not everybody can actually do that. I'm not faulting anybody who stars in a film for whether they market their own film or not. That's not their job necessarily to do it. They do these huge press junkets, right, Lorena? Where they go all over the world with these things, and people are asking them a bazillion questions, and they're exhausted, and they're like, well, I've answered this question, like 45 times. And they're like, oh, there's 3 more places that have questions for you. So it is exhausting, and I get it. But Tom Cruise is committed to this. And I think that, by example, he's showing us all that the desire to make films, for him at least, is certainly his number one priority, and to see them be successful. So, I think it is really interesting. And as I started off this conversation with you about the co-marketing of these two films, and, I think that people are very clever for the memes. I think the memes were enjoyable. I think we saw some parts where, Barbie's got her arm up and she's like, hey, and he's kind of looking out. And I think that, memes have been a part of our culture. It's got to be about 20 years now.
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
And, they spend a lot of money on these posters, these promotional posters for these films. And, I think that it's very interesting how someone will look at it and say, hey, let me put this with this. I almost wonder when the design team, whoever makes these posters, or the production designer, whoever it is, wonders, like, I wonder if they're going to do something with my poster. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to end up in a meme somewhere. But yeah, I just think it's really interesting because they came out on the same day. So that's a fact. And, they're going to be forever tied for that purpose. But inherently for me, they still are very different. And I think also because we have had a situation where it doesn't feel like people were spending money on movies. Like, it didn't feel like huge amounts of people were spending bankrolls on movies. It just didn't feel like that. And I kind of wondered about it. There have been openings recently that haven't been that great, but people have been going to these openings. I've gone to a lot of, you and I have gone to a lot of these
Yes.
openings with movie premieres, and we're keeping our fingers crossed, for them to make money. But a lot of them have not been exactly what we were hoping for. Now, I got to say that in regards to the promotional machine for Barbie, that was a big promotional machine. And certainly they, the merchandise alone, I think I had bought my Margot Robbie Barbie doll in June, and my mother wanted one, and I said, I'll get you one. So by the time I went around to go buy one, it's like they were completely sold out. Mattel sold out. Like, you can't get them.
Yeah.
And you can get them on eBay. I think the original price was $20 for the Margot Robbie Barbie. Like, it's affordable. A parent could spend $20 on a doll for a child, or
Yeah.
for themselves. To come to find out that they're being sold on eBay for like $70.
Right.
And then, the other thing, when you go to the movies, you get a promotional thing, the popcorn bucket. The theater I went to didn't have the popcorn bucket, so I couldn't get it. But if they had it, I would have spent, it was $65 for the popcorn bucket, and you also get a Margot Robbie doll. So I said, that's okay. It's $40 for the bucket, $20 for the doll. But the AMC I went to didn't have it, so I couldn't get it. And I was like, should I go to another AMC and see if they have it? So I might still do that, because I kind of really want that popcorn bucket. It is her car. It's the car.
Yeah, I saw it because I went to well, the Regal theaters.
Mhm.
So instead they have like a call it a concession cup
Mhm.
that you can get with loyalty points. So yeah, I ordered that sucker. But I saw the popcorn bucket. It was so cute.
It is adorable, and I'm gonna pull it up in a second if my computer will cooperate here. No, no, I don't want all those offers.
Because I have AMC, I have the AMC movie club thing, but I'm closer to Regal, so I'm usually going to Regal.
Yeah, I am close to both. So, like, for me, I'm fine with either one. Like, it doesn't make a difference to me. However, it always seems, and I'm not complaining, whoever owns these theaters near me, I'm not
No.
complaining. But it seems like whenever I want to purchase a popcorn bucket or something like that from a movie, they either didn't get it. They're like, oh, our aims, our theater didn't get it. And I'm
Yeah, like the Ghostbusters one. I missed out on that one because it was sold out.
I was in New Mexico when I got mine. So I wasn't even in New York. Let's say if I was in New York, maybe I wouldn't have
Wow.
gotten it. So I remember I went to buy it, and I tried to buy two, and they wouldn't let me buy two. I said, why aren't you allowing me to buy two? This guy just left with two. And they're
Yeah.
like, we don't have two. We only have one left. You're getting the last one. Oh,
Okay.
I guess I'll
Okay.
take it.
Okay.
But guys, here's the promotional thing for Barbie. And
Ah.
isn't it beautiful? Look at her. Look at her on the car. And the back, I think the trunk opens. And God bless you guys in the chat for bearing with us. The trunk opens, and you put the popcorn there, and it comes out through, I think, the back of the seat or something like that. But it's so cute looking. Doesn't it look great?
It's so cute because it is, the old school, I want to say like 19, don't laugh at me because I'm trying to pick this, between like 1950s, 1960s, like that classic car design. Personally, I would have liked the pink Corvette because that's my Barbie car, but it matches the outfit. The outfit is that vintage 60s outfit. So that, well, I'll say 50s. 50s, of course, the 60s. The outfit and the car, those two go together. So it's marketing genius.
It truly is. And there are a lot of retailers, and I just want to thank Tom Jr. Jackson, moderator, collaborator, and good friend for the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Tom says, the queen of all things Florida.
Oh, Tom.
And the queen of billowing beauty. Thank you, Tom. My favorite dynamic duo of pop culture. It's always a pleasure to see and mod for you.
Well, thank you, Tom Jr. Jackson. Thank you so much for that compliment. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Tom. And we appreciate you, Tom. Thank you for everything you do. Yeah, and so I saw this, and there was an article, Reina, that said that, you know, uh, theater goers were outraged that it was $64. And I said, no, I don't believe it. They weren't outraged. I don't know why they said that. Because they're spending like probably hundreds of dollars on the shirts that they're wearing to the theater, on the skirts, on all that merchandise. They spent, when I went, I saw a lot of people with a lot of Barbie, you know, stuff on. So
Mhm.
I don't believe
Yeah.
that people are outraged by this. I mean, how much did they think it was going to cost anyway? The vehicle, if you went to buy the real thing, it might be $100, right?
Well, yeah, but also I remember they had an R2D2 popcorn bucket that was like $75 and was going like hotcakes. So these are collectors items, so to speak. So I'm not surprised by the price at all. Like I said, I've seen them for much higher, and people want them because they're just crafted. They're just crafted so well.
They certainly are. And so there was that promotion for Barbie. And as I said, practically, I know at least 10 retailers that had Barbie items for sale to promote the
Mhm.
film. There was one, it might be Forever 21, that had a Barbie jersey. And I wanted that thing as a sequins Barbie jersey. And I was like, I gotta get that.
Yeah,
So
they've had a Barbie line, I wanna say for about the past year or so in Forever 21, so that doesn't surprise me. Man, that jersey's probably really cool.
oh, it's fantastic. And it, you know, of course, it's actually black and it says Barbie on the front, and then the back it says the number 59, which is the year that they created Barbie.
Mhm,
And it's awesome looking. And I was like, oh gosh, I wish I could have gotten that. So maybe I'll get it one of these days. Who knows? But they certainly did promote a lot of excitement and stuff for it. So in regards to just promotion alone, you know, every time you go into a store and see Barbie, it's promotion for the film. So this is a very different type of promotional vehicle. You know, the promotional vehicle of, gee, you know, at least 2 or 3 times a month, I'm looking at Barbie dolls. You know, this is,
mhm,
I didn't need a reminder that Barbie was coming out. No one had to remind me necessarily. So, you know, they're like, oh, the Barbie movie. I'm like, it's about time, you know, like we've been waiting for this for our whole lives, you know, the kind of thing. Now,
mhm.
you know, if you go ahead and look at something, and it's a 2 hour film, and it has been doing well in the box office. Only God knows how it's going to do this next week. We don't know. You know, typically there is a fall off for the film. We'll see what happens. But for
Right.
the receipts are not bad. Looking at Oppenheimer, it's not necessarily something that you're going to be thinking about 24/7. Although the promotion for it, I thought that initial poster, you know, with the Trinity experiment, it was quite compelling. It's a compelling poster. It's a compelling, you know, thing to see. You can't
Mhm.
forget that when you're in the theater and you see something that says, "Hey, this is coming up," you can't forget the Oppenheimer, you know, advertisement. But it is very different. It's not a continual advertisement like the Barbie was. So that was a
Right.
very, very different. And I think, you know, I think they did a good job for advertising Barbie. And I certainly don't think they messed up in any respect in regards to knowing when it was coming out and where is it. Lorena, they had
Mhm.
just like you went to a special preview party for Barbie. Here in New York, they have a store, a Barbie store. I guess
Oh,
it's not a,
pop-up?
yeah, and it's been open since May. So you can go to it. I haven't gone to it. I'm going to go to it. Mikey Lito, if he's here, Mikey Lito wants to go with me to see Oppenheimer in 70 millimeter uh, IMAX when they have tickets available. So I have a feeling that the Barbie Cafe, it's called the Barbie Cafe, will still be there. Mike Lito, you're going to the Barbie Cafe too that day. So I'm just letting you know. But this is exactly part of why I think it also helps in that promotion. So that was a little bit different kind of promotion. And as I said, I really was a little. I don't know. I didn't even think that Tom Cruise would even think about Barbie. Like it's kind of funny. It's like, but he has a daughter, right? So maybe he's bought her Barbies. You just don't know. We
That's
just don't
true.
know, you know. So it's a possibility that that might have happened. But yeah, it's like that was there's that part. I was listening to a stream today, Heath's Geekverse, and someone had commented that their GI Joes dated a few of his sister's Barbies. So
Same. I had GI Joe. You know,
I
the
just love
whole.
that. I thought that was very funny. But yeah, it's kind of a doll that's always, on your mind. So it's not one where you're like, well, I don't know what it is. I think it might be one of the most recognizable toys. It was in the toys that made us. Um,
Yeah. Oh, that was good.
yeah, it's
I
one of the,
love that special.
yeah, isn't it good? It's excellent. And, it's
Awesome.
one of the most well recognized and one of the dolls that has the greatest variety of looks. And so there's that. Now, in regards to Oppenheimer, a very different type of film to advertise. And this weekend, I did hear from some people saying things like, "Well, I'm not really into Barbies, and I'm not really into Oppenheimer necessarily." And I'm like, yeah, okay, that's true. And this is what's interesting about this is that there is still Mission Impossible for people to go and see something like that.
Hmm.
So there are a few films out there, but of course the two films are dramatically different. However, they came out on the same day, so a lot of people were talking about it, and a lot of people are having fun with it. And every
Hmm.
time the Barbenheimer thing was mentioned, it was an advertisement for two films for the price of one. Now, have we seen anything like that, Lorena? I don't remember the last time we've seen such a successful 2-for-1 campaign in which the people who made the films didn't even intend to happen.
I really can't recall when that happened for like two first keyword being first run, two first run movies at the same time. Even though they are, I think, yeah, WB is behind both of them. So, and from the same studio, I've never heard that before. At least if it was, you didn't really hear that much about it. Just the movies were out, but they made such a big deal and word of mouth about this whole thing, and it became a phenomenon like Barbenheimer, that had like the pink mushroom cloud and you know, which is my favorite. I love the pink Martian mushroom cloud, but this is funny with the with the license plate in the back. Show in the front. That's funny.
I love it too. Don't tell anybody. Oh my God. I think it's just really very interesting on how it translates, how the color translates, how everything about Barbie translates in this way. And also how, I also think that it's indicative of how much we've accepted that we live in an atomic age too. I mean, do you remember seeing, was it Predator, where one of the predators, when he escapes, he presses a thing on his hand and then it's a bomb. It's like a nuclear bomb. Am I saying the right film? I think it might be Predator, but in one of these, it's the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger and he was hunting him down, and
Oh yes, yeah, yeah, because the Predator detonated a nuclear device.
now I think I was probably, I don't know how old I was. I was probably like 2 when that film came out, right? But
Hmm.
I was very, very young when that came out. I didn't know what this thing was. And I remember my brother going, "Oh yeah, it's a nuclear bomb." And I said, "What is that?" But it was, that was our reality. Like we knew what these things were. Every kid in our generation kind of knows what this is. And this is, really kind of like, might actually, I don't want to dig too deep into the symbolism, but it's such a recognizable image also. I just want to pull up another one that I wanted to show. And it's funny that you mentioned the pink cloud, because I immediately saw that and was attracted to it. So, I mean, I think that whoever is making these memes also knows what people might kind of enjoy and kind of relate to. Here's a person who I guess took 2 shirts and decided to make their shirts, the combination of the shirts, a meme. There,
Oh,
um, and
I
this
would buy
person,
that.
I would buy it too. This person saw them in the same day, right?
Oh, heck yeah. That's the thing, seeing them uh back to back, because that's what it was about, see the first movie and then go see the second movie that day, not like a weirdo like me who went to the Barbie party on Wednesday for the premiere event and then went the next day to the Oppenheimer uh premiere event. But yeah, that was the whole thing, going to see them twice in one day. And actually, I want to thank Alex Shannon for correcting me. He says Universal did Oppenheimer, so thank you for that.
Okay. Well, and here's another one. This is probably an AI generated one. It's
Yeah, it is.
actually Barbie, of course, working
I
in a
love
laboratory, doing
that.
something. Only God knows what it is, but it has a sense of, but Barbie's been in the laboratory. She's had a job as a lab technician for a long time, so that's not new for Barbie.
She's
Because
been a computer engineer too, which is the one that I have in my studio.
And this is
Mhm.
another one. Oh, wait. No, let me see. Go ahead. Can you show it one more time?
Yeah, yeah,
Just hold on one
yeah,
second, Reina. I'm going to see if I
yeah.
can. Hold on. Darn, how do I do this? Remove my.
Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, yeah. This is me, computer engineer Barbie. When this Barbie came out, me and a lot of other women I worked with who were engineers, we were like, yes, Barbie is finally doing the job that we do. So, yeah, Barbie's had whole lot of jobs. I'm never taking this one out of the box. Like ever. You can put yourself back in, my dear.
I suddenly forgot how to use
Oh,
keyboard.
look at that one.
And so this is the one I got. I can't get myself in the picture. This is the one I got in June. I said I'm going to buy it.
Yeah.
I was like, this is Margot Robbie as Barbie, and I want to get that, and I got it. And it's fantastic. Like it was only like $20. This is completely affordable. We are not breaking the bank whatsoever.
No.
And when I went to go get another one,
It was gone.
It was gone. There's one more. There's one more thing I want to show you in regards to this dual promotion, and it's this. It's actually pictures of the actors,
Mm-hmm.
and this is Margot Robbie in the most iconic looking Barbie look. This is what the 1959 version.
Yes, that is the classic.
Yes.
Classic Barbie.
And so, like if you look up Barbie, you look that up, you'll see that, this is a clip from the movie. And of course, this is paired with a clip from Cillian Murphy as Oppenheimer, obviously this is him looking at, the test and maybe right after that or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it is really interesting just thinking about how they were promoted together. So they made a bunch of money at the box office.
Yes, they did.
This was, remarkable. And I am so happy that they did. Certainly, times have not been easy when it comes to the box office these days. And it was wonderful to see that they made bank, which was something that I think is remarkable. Let me just see if I can pull up the, I don't know, I had it here a few seconds ago, how much they both made. But I think it's in the realm of, what is it, like almost here it says
I think
1 hour
Barbie
ago
made 130 million, and Oppenheimer 80 million, I believe.
So and it broke records. And I'm not going to bore us with how many records it break. As far as I'm concerned, it doesn't matter. The fact is that it made money, and that's all. I think that's the most important thing, let's say, going forward, because of the craziness of just wondering how much people, how many people are going to movies. This is Barbenheimer's 246 million weekend joined Star Wars and Avengers as one of the biggest openings. And of course, we're talking about 2 movies, not 1.
Mm-hmm.
And, it says that it's one of Hollywood's biggest weekends ever, a must-see double feature. The buildup kept going in intensity, and the predictions originally were something like 30 to 40 million dollars for Oppenheimer, and Oppenheimer's a 3-hour film. It's a
Mm-hmm.
3-hour film, so there are going to be less showings of Oppenheimer when compared to Barbie. Barbie's 2 hours. That this is like triple the amount they thought, or maybe double the amount they thought they were going to make. So people are going out to see these films, and I think it is very interesting. I am glad that they're doing this now. Oppenheimer overall has been getting reviews that are astounding, Lorena. This is people I one of the indications I think that Oppenheimer is going to make $1 billion is because I keep trying to get tickets to see, it again in the 70 millimeter, and I can't get
Mm-hmm.
the tickets. So Catherine Cook, who is another PGS member who's on, she has her Cat's Corner show, which is going to be the next show after this one. She said that Oppenheimer was sold out for weeks and weeks. It completely sold out in the theaters near her, and that's never happened before, where all the shows are sold out. Like there's nothing available. Are you seeing that kind of situation happen where you are?
Well, I would say yes and no. My situation was a little different because I went to the first showings, like the Barbie preview event. The Barbie preview event, that sucker was sold out like a couple of, I think like at least about 2 weeks, but definitely the week before, because I bought tickets for that a month before the event happened and just managed to get seats. So that place, house was packed completely. When I went to see Oppenheimer, it wasn't. I was at a smaller theater in the small, suburb that I am in Orlando, and it's not in the touristy district, but it had a good amount of people for a Thursday for a preview showing, and I think like around 6 o'clock or something like that. So it was a pretty good, respectable amount. Where I am, the theaters don't really sell out as much because most people are going to the theaters in the tourist districts. That is where you have a lot of the sellouts and everything that go on. Like I didn't even try to go to Universal Cinemark to see Oppenheimer because I knew I wasn't going to get a seat.
Right, right. Um, okay, that makes total sense. And I understand that completely. And you don't want to be standing up when you can just go to the theater right around your corner and see it
Hmm.
versus like fighting and, in line and it's hot while other people are trying to get tickets. That's not cool, or waiting even to get in. All right. So, there has been mixed views about Barbie. There's no doubt about it. But I did
Hmm.
want to show the Rotten Tomatoes score. It's kind of early to even be looking at a Rotten Tomatoes score. But because the film has made so much, I'm assuming that a fair amount of people might have gone to see it. 300 reviews for the,
Hmm.
reviewers, meaning the pros, 2,500 audience score of people are giving it thumbs up. Let's see how it does in the next week. One thing I do want to say about this film, and I think a lot of people and a lot of families were surprised when they got to the theater, that the Barbie movie is not for children. At least I don't think it's for children.
It is correct. It is definitely not for children. I've said in my reviews, it's definitely not for young children at all. It's more geared towards tweens to teenagers and up. And one of the suggestions that I have made is, should you decide to take your 12 or 13-year old and up to this film, be prepared to have a discussion with them afterwards. First of all, regardless of anything that's shown, whenever your children see a film, either on their own or with you, have a discussion with them about what it is that they've seen. It can make for a great point, a great time to have a very teachable moment. So that's what I've been telling people, but definitely not for young kids.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Let's put it that way.
Well, to be honest with you, I think that they should have put up something saying this film is not intended for children. And, I think then because in the theaters I've gone to, it's
Hmm.
been packed with families. And a lot of the parents are like, oh, this isn't exactly. And remember, the kids are
Yeah.
going to be begging their parents to go see the film. It's not even just that the parents are like, well, I have to take my kid to see the Barbie movie. The kids are begging mom and dad to take them.
Yeah, they really are. I was in the theater next to a mom who had like young kids with her. And people were probably thinking, okay, it's PG-13. Maybe they dropped, one or two F bombs or something in there. And that's probably the extent of it. Who knows? Like Barbie, like screwed up, like, oh, I didn't think I was supposed to say that. And that turned out to not be the case. And I did notice, some parents kind of like, I didn't expect to see that. But now that it's out there, word of mouth is out there.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was one thing that I did want to just mention. And I did mention it in my review too, that it's not intended for children. There's absolutely no way any kid under the age of 13 or even maybe 16 would understand what's going on in this. So there is that. Now, if you're going strictly by visuals, because Lorraine and I have both done reviews on this movie already, and we've actually have a lot of good points in both of our reviews. So, but aside from what we've already said, one thing I am going to say is that visually, darn, this movie looks great.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
100%. I would not be surprised if Barbie got nominated for an Oscar for set design. I mean, there's just no bones about it. It just looks dead on like the Barbie play sets that I remember, as a kid, and as I'm sure you remember as a kid.
Absolutely, Lorena. This was like it was literally like stepping into that world, and I think they took a lot of time. First of all, Margot Robbie was perfectly cast as this role.
Yes, she was. I
Um,
loved her in this.
wasn't she amazing? I think also that we got to see things that we always wanted to see. I admit I tried to get this Barbie as well. I'm gonna share it with you. This was another one that you could buy. You can actually buy it. I think they have it on eBay for $70 because I checked, as you know, before this broadcast. I checked, and you can get this actual Barbie. You see Margot Robbie who's standing there. It's like a
Hmm.
Western Barbie, right? You remember Western
Yeah.
Barbie? Yeah, you're
Yes, I do. With the fringe on the
yeah,
hat
and the
and yeah,
cowboy boots
the
and
cowboy boots. Heck yeah, I remember that.
it was so good. And here's Margot, of course, dressed in a Western outfit, and she wears several outfits. Um, if I have to go for just aesthetics, let's say for Barbie fantasy alone, two things
Hmm.
that really hit like my button was when they went to the beach, like that artificial beach, however they created that,
Hmm.
was remarkable looking, and the party, that party where you saw all the Barbies.
Oh yeah, the Barbie party. Yeah, that was. Oh my gosh, that just cracked me up.
Oh God, I don't know
it
what to
was
do.
it was great.
Oh God. So, I think that the production design, as you said, Lorena, and the costuming of this
Hmm.
was just like Barbie. I think, and I also do want to give some credit to the men in the film, Ryan Gosling and all the other very very attractive men that played the Kens. Also looked amazing. So I'm kind of looking at it from the point of view. It's like the way they look when they did this. This looked like this scene. Didn't it look like a commercial? You know?
Not only a commercial, but I remember the outfits because I had these darn Barbie and Ken with similar outfit on. So I was like, I had that
Oh my gosh. I'm just so and there of course there she is in the outfit that she starts off in, which is the one that I have the this Barbie where she starts off in that, and
one. Hmm.
I just think it's amazing. There's the party. There's the party. Remember, she's wearing a jumpsuit. She starts off wearing a jumpsuit, then she wears this stunning dress. Issa Rae. I hope they have a picture of Issa Rae in this
Oh, with
because
the President Barbie.
Yeah, it might have been President Barb. Yeah, maybe she's
Yeah, she
President
was
Barb.
president. Yeah, she was President Barbie.
She's
Yeah.
stunning looking in this, Lorena, and I want to get that doll. Um, and yeah, so it is very interesting. And there, of course, there's that iconic. She looks just like the doll. This is I've never seen a better iconic recreation of Barbie anywhere. And I want that swimsuit too. Oh, here's the party. Here's the party. There she is. And
Yeah,
guys,
with the coordinated Kens.
yeah, this was like heaven for me because this is exactly what I want. This is like my fantasy, right? But
Honey.
I just really was just showing the production design and the care that went into this because this was a remarkable undertaking. Even weird Barbie, the whole thing, because I got a bunch of weird Barbies too.
Yeah, you kind of had weird Barbies, kind of, yeah. The science experiment, that's what I
And
call it.
I know Dua Lipa was in this. She plays I think there's Issa Rae right here on the left, right,
Yes,
Lorraine?
that's Issa Rae, and up front is Simu Liu, and I
Oh,
have
he's
to say he didn't
good.
annoy me like he did in Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings, and I think it's because I guess he was in the series Kim's Convenience, which was comedic based, and you could tell with just his timing in this. So I actually did like his performance in this movie.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, and it's not that you see these people are performers. I knew they were performers. It's just that I wasn't expecting this level of performance of seeing them dance and do all these moves and everything. So it
Yeah.
kind of took my breath away, and I wasn't ready for this. And I was like, the hottest men in Hollywood, the hottest women in Hollywood, and they're dancing, and it's Barb. I was like, I can't. This is what I've always dreamed of. I can't believe I'm seeing this now. Issa Rae looks stunning. I've got to get this doll. They have the Barbie doll of her. I have to get it. I want that doll. So guys, they did make doll versions of almost every single character in this. But my point is that I just love how the look of the movie. And guys, like I said, Lorraine and I did reviews on it. We're not going to get into too much of it, but certainly it's a movie that people went out to see. And I will always remember these scenes, Lorena. I can't get them out of my head. I just love seeing them dance. These guys are so talented. These actors are so talented, Lorena. Um,
Yeah.
Now, to kind of wrap things up, because I know you guys, thank you, chat, for putting up with the Barbie talk, because Lorena and I were going to have to talk some Barbie talk on here. I do want to talk about Oppenheimer. Lorena, you and I did a review for Oppenheimer on your
Hmm.
channel. And of course, everybody is
Yes.
talking about Oppenheimer. It was an hour review that turned into a 2-hour review because there was so much to say about it.
Hmm.
And certainly, my biggest concern about Oppenheimer was not, first of all, I didn't know we were going to get a film that was as incredible as it was. And I guess I should have known. Like, sometimes, these types of biopics or whatever you want to call it, don't always go the way you think it's going to go. So I didn't know what to think. And I was pleasantly surprised. You and I have talked about this at length, but I was also concerned that people wouldn't be interested in it because it is kind of, it's about science. And I don't really know how people, are looking at this topic these days. I mean, I felt, gee, what if nobody's really interested in going to see it? And even if he is such an important event and everything, what if no one really is into this? It could happen. Good films sometimes don't always make bank, right?
Let's say, yeah, sometimes they don't make big bank at the box office right up front, but then you have I call it like not the rerun market, but now we have digital, then, DVD releases that come out and people start to rediscover it. Some films get a second life that way because there's some people who are just like, you know what, if I'm gonna drop $20, I'd rather just put it towards getting it on physical media where I can watch it, again and again, or it's just a time thing. I can't get to the theater. I'll just, get it later. And then it gets more popular, gets more popular that way. But I think Oppenheimer is one of those films that is going to be discussed for quite a long time. People who maybe thought that it was just I would say just like a fiction. fictional depiction, not fictional, but dramatization
Right.
of um of Oppenheimer's life, when it in reality what it is a very interesting thriller with three different stories from the main story, going on. And it's very intriguing because I think, like we said, like we were talking about when we reviewed it on my channel, I was like, I don't know if I want to sit 3 hours to watch this, even though I know who Oppenheimer is, and getting to see Einstein and all that. But I'm like, 3 hours? How are you going to intrigue me in 3 hours? And they found a way to do that from the beginning. So I think that's what'll happen later on. Is it's definitely not going to make as much money as Barbie up front. Barbie pretty much wins that up front. But I think the more time goes on, the more word of mouth gets out about Oppenheimer, the more popular it is going to be, and it very much deserves it.
Absolutely, Lorena. And guys, Tom Jr. Jackson's kind enough to put the review on Lorena's channel that Lorena and I did on Oppenheimer. Right
Thank you.
here, you can see
Thank
our
you.
discussion. And of course, Tom, yes, I did do a review too because I can't stop talking about Oppenheimer. I, I can't stop talking about it. And here's the Rotten Tomatoes, and it is a little early. I'm not saying it's the right time for Rotten Tomatoes right now. I also want to say,
Mhm.
guys, make sure you like and subscribe to Tom Jr. Jackson's channel. He has his own YouTube channel, so please like and subscribe. And thank you, Tom. We are all goof people. 94% is pretty darn good. Um, I'm just thinking in my mind, I don't know how, let me just see if I can pull up. I don't have it as high in the picture frame, so we can't see how many 335 reviewers, professional reviewers, and 2,500 ratings. Gee, that sounds like almost the exact same numbers as the Barbie one. But to be honest with you, Lorena, this film it's when you step into it, it's a greater commitment. It's a greater commitment.
Mhm.
As I said, we're looking at a 3 hour film. Um, it has a lot of symbolism and imagery. There's climactic moments, challenging moments. We talked about the cast, and we're talking about Oscar nods in this one. We're talking about,
Very much so.
yeah, definitely Cillian Murphy and Robert Downey Jr. for best, maybe, best actor, best supporting actor. I don't even know whether
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. would be the supporting actor, or I don't know.
I would say that he's supporting because the main character in this is Cillian Murphy's Oppenheimer. Everything is centered around that particular character. So Robert Downey Jr., yeah, definitely for supporting actor.
Hmm. And I only just noticed that you sent me something. Oh, wait, maybe I can pull that up here. I'm going to pull
Yeah.
it up, Lorena. Thank you for doing that. And I'm just going to share my screen for this latest article. Thank you so much for doing that.
Oh, you are welcome. You are welcome.
And it says it's from Deadline. Barbie still gorgeous with best yearly total 162 million opening. Oppenheimer detonates 82 million, plus an incredible 300 million US box office weekend. Wow. Certainly something to think about. And they keep pairing the two together, Lorena, like it.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just like you got to put them both, got to put them both together, But I think it's really, it's really cool. Something
It
different.
is. It is cool.
Mhm.
Thank you for, and I'm just going to pan down a little bit more. We're going to see what it says. It says it's coming in 6 million higher than expected after a beautiful Sunday of 43 million. As we told you, it's the best opening stateside for a movie from a female filmmaker, that being Oscar nominee Greta Gerwig. Universal's Oppenheimer is also higher with a 23 million Sunday, off from Saturday. And Oppenheimer would have made more money if it was on more screens, Lorena, more 70
Mhm.
millimeter screens, because I would have
Yeah.
gone ahead, and if there was another 2 or 3 70 millimeter screens in New York, they would have sold out. That's what would have happened. So I'm thinking that it's limitations of the availability of screens, is
Mhm.
something else to consider. And they said all of this is a reminder is that it took a consistent supply of movies, which spurs moviegoer demand to get
That
theatrical
is true. That is
back
true.
on track post COVID. Granted, streaming is a headache for many writers and actors, and this. I'm hoping this is a sign that it is back. Um, hopefully it is. This is certainly inspiring. I feel good about it, and um, I think it says, meanwhile, Oppenheimer might be about a bomb, but it's certainly not a bomb in the sense of the box office.
No, it's it's making money. I think it's going to have much more longevity than Barbie, and
Yeah, yeah, it's going
it
to.
really is. It is a cinematic experience. It's one of those big budget Hollywood epics that we have not gotten in a very, very long time.
Tom Jr. Jackson talks about Florence Pugh and Emily Blunt. Certainly, they certainly had a fantastic performance.
Yeah, Emily Blunt was killer in this.
She really was. And certainly, I have to say, just even talking about how this went down, when we months ago talking about this, I'd never thought the outcome would be this way, Lorena. I mean, I hoped and dreamed that we would see that they made money and people showed interest, but this
Hmm.
was much more involved and much more engaging than I could have imagined. And that's exactly what we're kind of hoping for when it comes to these movie releases. This is what we're asking for. While every movie is not going to meet all of our expectations, certainly it gave us something to talk about. I haven't been this chatty. Tom will attest to this about a film in ages. I can't stop talking about Oppenheimer. I can't. I promised myself. And not only am I talking about Oppenheimer, I'm playing, like podcasts about Oppenheimer in the background and the rest of the book that I haven't finished. So,
Yeah, I just got the book on Audible.
yeah. And did you start to listen to it a little bit?
No, not yet. I downloaded it so I wouldn't forget about it, because I wanted to make sure as soon as I saw that it was based like on an actual book, I was like, okay, I have to get this. So I did.
Well, Lorena, I just want to thank you for being here for today's Ladies of
You're
the PGS. I want
welcome.
to thank the chat for being here. Tom, Jr. Jackson, we were all good people. Thanks for the super chat, Tom. And certainly, Lorena, this was really an epic week for movies. It's just the two of them. But boy, the
Hmm.
pair, certainly it was like fireworks. That's the only way I could describe it. Something that I don't know. Their imagination went and they said, yeah, let's put those two together in a thing. And it was like fireworks. It's been like fireworks for these two movies. And let's hope it continues. Uh, so to continue to give us something to talk about. Lorena, where can people find you?
Well, folks, you can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Instagram. And of course, you can find me on YouTube doing various videos and live streams with myself, and usually myself and as well. This week, actually, we're going to be on your channel Friday talking Outlander. So we got an Outlander double feature going on. So we're going to see two episodes of Outlander. So that's going to
Mhm.
be on Friday. On Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern, I will be coming to you live from Epcot at Disney World. It is the opening weekend of the Food and Wine Festival. So we're going to have fun walking around, seeing what the menus are and all the stuff, the delicious eats that they're going to have out there. So we can take a look at that. And Saturday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, and I will be doing a live watch party for Disney's Aladdin. So you don't want to miss that. And of course, Sunday, again, double feature for me, 1 p.m. Eastern, the video premiere of Toxic Male Appreciation. We're going to be featuring Ryan Gosling. Yes, so we're going to be talking about him. And at 8 p.m. Eastern on Sunday, welcome to Florida show. It's crazy every week. We just have too much fun. Too much fun. Last night we decided to make one of the sharks being traced by, I think it's like Ocean, I'm forgetting the name, but it's a site where they have like sharks and whales that have been tagged so they can, they plot
Yes,
like
yes.
where their
Mhm.
migration point and everything. Yeah, so we our mascot is Anne Bonny. Everyone decided a shark named Anne Bonny, female shark who is a juvenile who right now is eating seals off the coast of New
Yummy.
England.
Yummy, yummy. Yeah, and they've been there all along. Like they've been there, our neighbors this whole time.
They've been there all along. There's one shark that I think shark named oh god, what is it? I think it's like I think he's Tom. It's like 1,600 pounds, and they've been tracking him for like 10 years. He's retired like around Key West. Hasn't moved from that place in like years.
Aw.
But that's the kind of zany stuff that we do on Welcome to Florida. So as usual, thank you so much for having me. I love doing this show with you.
It's such a pleasure to have you, Lorena. And guys, make sure you like and subscribe to Lorena's channel. Make sure you like and subscribe to my channel, Positive Fandom Guide. Please do check out Positive Fandom. This week we do have screenings. I think we're going to be doing in the next 2 weeks Anthropoid movie with Darth Plato and Fat Man Little Boy screening as well on my channel. But I also have things coming up. I got The Thing, I think on Saturday. I think we're doing it on Saturday. Review, PGS reviews. Right after this, guys, I'm going to be doing Catherine Cook's show, Cat's Corner, where she looks at her extensive physical media collection. So please don't go anywhere. Want to thank everybody for being here. We will be back next week, guys. You can count on it. Certainly,
Mm,
Hollywood Chatter is back, and we are here for it.
absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, guys. So thank you all for the support. And always remember, no matter where you are in the galaxy, always remember to please be kind. Bye.